Hey, my beloveds. I don't really want to make a lot of videos. Well, for many reasons. Number one, you guys know your stuff, and number two, the world really is the way it should be. But at the same time, the world is not as it should be. And that is what we're here to do. We're here to balance it out. Meanwhile, on a more basic logistical platform, so to speak, people are talking to me, telling me that they just don't want to interact with anybody anymore. And a lot of these people are very, very friendly people, but they're noticing a divide. And the lines have been drawn at this point in time. You're going to have the artificials, you're going to have the clones that are eager to do all kinds of artificial manipulations. And I hear them saying, well, I wish everybody would just take the goddamn vaccine. Well, it's not so easy, because I'm not going to inject myself with something that was not researched properly in the first place. And second, not everybody believes in, some people call it seance, because it's not really science. It's basically artificial magic, and some people are just not really into that. So, Jesus in the Essenes did not, agree to any kind of alterations at all. That's the reason why they lived off the grid. And, it's going to come time when maybe all of us will have to just say, no, this is stupid, we're not doing it, and just get off the grid. And, our life is going to change quite a bit. We're going to have to make adaptations, and that's fine. Just remember, the universe, you are immortal and eternal. This is your journey. And, this planet is changing rapidly. And there's going to be a huge division. The artificials will have no interaction with the organics. The organics are going to live off the grid like a flower and enjoy their lives. And the artificials are going to suffer, enslaved to this machine that constantly tells them how to live their life. And, people say, well, I'm not afraid of the microchip. Well, you have no idea, because Jesus said a few things about this. Number one, you will have no joy. You will be enslaved, and you will be told at all times, 24/7, ads will pop up in your, brain, or in your, in your eyes, in your vision, in your hearing. Information will be pumped through you, and you will no longer have free will. It literally is the definition of losing your free will, your soul. At the same time, you will not be able to rest. Look how many people are not able to sleep. They have insomnia. Look how many people have sleep paralysis. Look how many people have, demonic visions and dreams. Those are not organically, created. These are artificially created through basically, holographic demonology. And speaking of holographic, you remember that line that says, although I walk through the valley of the shadows? And that's a favorite line for a lot of us, because it feels like we are walking through the valley of the shadows. What do shadows mean? Shadows mean holographic projections. These are hollow people. And they're not just hollow as in HOLO from hologram. They're hollow, period, because they're empty. And they are controlled, constantly remote controlled through this program, this machine. So they are basically part of a Borg commune. That's the reason why I call them clones. Now, clones, we're not talking about your body. Your body is whatever your body is. Who even cares what your body is? Like Jesus said, I am not my body. Your mind, what is your mind? Is your mind free? Is your mind creative? Is your mind advanced? Then you have a universal mind. You have that I that Jesus called the Father. But if you have just this planetary mind that is constantly cloned into this computer, which is basically a man-made created computer, it's not created, it's man-made. There's a difference between created and made. Humans have invented all kinds of stupid shit. And why did they invent this? Well, for many different reasons, because I will tell you honestly why, because they want to be God. and they want to play God because it's fun fucking with people's lives and brains. But it's not fun to me. I don't find that amusing, because you're crossing the free will, the law of the universe, and that is the reason why, you know, we're here more and more. Yeah, people will not be able to rest. Even Jesus to the Essenes said this. They are constantly enslaved. Their mind, they have no peace until they decide that they want to have peace. They are constantly plugged into this computer. But the good news is that at any point in time you declare your sovereignty, you are free. So at any point in time you see the planetary game, you are free. But at the same time, you know, you're going to see more and more aggravations, because why? Well, consciousness and source consciousness is here, and it's approaching rapidly. Like I said, this planet will turn into a sun. I saw a vision of it. It is beautiful. Just it's a dream. It's majestic, and people will live in this planet the way that it was intended. Before this system of slavery, this Boer commune arrived, literally about, the infrastructure was placed allegedly about 6,000 years ago, but the final steps were enacted literally during so-called Hitler's time. Now, time is an illusion, so we're just talking about dream frames here. But that's just to kind of, this is not an ancient system. Now, there is an ancient system that is the infrastructure that is building and rebuilding the planet. And I believe those to me are the Templars. And I don't know. I mean, I'm not a Mason, but I'm speculating that that's what they're part of. But they are just building and rebuilding the planet. They are not actually playing the game. But there's another faction that is playing the game. I know who they are, and they're very, very cowardly people. They're also not creative. So they're not really a worthy opponent of some sort. They're just a nuisance more than anything else. Kind of like an ankle biter. Kind of like Dante's Inferno, you know, the lowest level of hell, where the people are just gnawing at your ankles. It's kind of sad, but if that's how they want to live their eternity, that's fine by me. And one more point that I want to make is that where did this mess start? Well, this mess started the first time somebody said, I want to relive that dream again, because life is a dream. So you're going to live your life as an original, and I believe those are the RH negatives, and then you save yourself within the game. And if you have any wishes, desires, anything that holds you back, just like Jesus said, my people are dying for lack of knowledge. You don't know how powerful your thoughts are. So the moment you say, just like my mother, she wants to live this life over. She wants to meet my dad. Yeah, but that is something dark. That is not something organic. And that is why we're seeing so many shadows and copies and clones, is because they are not an original souled being. They are just a shadow dancer going through the motions of their first life. And that's what created this problem. And the more emotions they went through, the more they went into the dark and the demonic. And now they're completely soulless. So now they decided, hey, I want to get back to source. How do I do this? So then they decided to bring in the souled beings in here and entrap them and, basically trade souls with them. And that's what the mess is. That's where we're at right now. It's basically us in a shadow version, looshing us in a soul version. So there's really no danger. I mean, things are as it is, as they should be, but there are some things that need to be tweaked. And one last point that I want to make is that because source consciousness is approaching fast, because this planet is turning into a sun, because the waters are rising and nature is reclaiming everything back, the synthetics, the artificials, they're part of the synthetic matrix, this archon, this virus of this planet. They have to hurry up and save all the information they can. They also are trying to loose you. So the more fearful events Remember quotes of Jesus, wars and rumors of wars. The more of those events can be psychologically operated upon you, the more they can extract the loosh off of you. So they're trying to harvest. This is the final harvest right now. There are even churches called Final Harvest. It's like, how much more obvious can it get? But basically, they're trying to harvest all the information and all the loosh they can possibly do, because remember, they don't no longer have an option. They have to do this in order to survive. It's kind of like a vampire that needs blood. I don't know. What do vampires do when they no longer have blood? I don't remember. I don't really watch very many vampire movies, but maybe one of you guys knows. What happens to vampires when they can't obtain blood or life or loosh? I don't know. Do they die? Do vampires die? I don't think they do. And Jesus actually addressed this to the Essenes too, saying that people won't be able to die. They will be walking in this eternal slavery, just exactly like the Borg commune. I mean, people can do whatever they want to do, and I don't care. I don't really have a skin in this game, literally. But it's kind of a sad game, and these are literally the sins of the fathers. And a lot of us are coming now to close up the bloodlines and redeem the sins of the fathers. So, you know, you do whatever you want to do, but what I'm doing right now is I'm actually reconciling the sins that were created within my bloodline into love and peace and harmony and forgiveness. And another thing, and I'm going to close with this because it is kind of important, I mean, to decide what you want to do. But if you do decide to plug yourself within, to Neuralink yourself through this vaccine into the matrix, that means that you will be what's called Christed. And Jesus decided to Christ himself. There was no death on a cross or any BS like that. That was just more of a symbolic thing. But Jesus basically decided that he wanted to plug his consciousness into the machine. And why? Well, think about it. Why? Because the moment you do that, you actually open a portal of consciousness through which all the trapped souls can attain enlightenment and free themselves. Remember the quote, "Come to me, all ye who are weary, and I shall give you" what? Eternal life? That's right. So, you know, that's something that you have to decide whether you're gonna plug yourself in the machine or not. I haven't decided yet. I mean, I can go either way. It's nothing to me. It's just, you're immortal and eternal. I'm just telling you the name of the game, so you have the knowledge. Anyways, I love you all. Stay in peace. And yes, it will feel like you're being gang stalked because they're trying to obtain two things from you: information. They're also trying to pump deceitful information into you, and loose you. They're draining you, basically. They're draining your life energy. So as long as you see these things, then you'll know what to do. So I don't tell you what to do with it. I'm just telling you what's going on. So anyways, but stay in peace. Stay in joy. It is a game. That's the reason why I like listening to Alan Watts, because he literally presents it as a game, and that you are the game. So all these components are literally part of you. So the moment you alter yourself, the moment you give yourself power, you start listening to, you know, uplifting music, uplifting channels, uplifting, you know, I don't know, meditations, I guess, and walks in nature, lots of water, sunshine, spend time around, you know, happy people, and you know, just bring joy back into your life, bring life back into your life, basically. One more little thing, this is more of a PS, but a lot of people are saying how they're noticing people are just very juvenile. Sorry, I've been working all day. I think I have dust. Doing some lab work, but I've noticed a lot of people are very juvenile. They make really, really stupid decisions. I don't interact with a lot of people on a daily basis, but it's pretty amazing. Now I have a unique group of people that I interact with, so they're all very intelligent, but if I even step outside of that group, it's really, wow, it's shocking. And the reason why people are not just brain damaged, but they make bad decisions, really, really poor judgment calls, almost no judgment call, is because they have been infiltrated by this juvenile artificial consciousness. They have been literally neural linked within the matrix. So the matrix is now operating through their brains. And this is dangerous now, especially if you share custody with one of them, because they will make some really, really bad decisions, really bad decisions. So it's almost like you have to know this, you have to understand it, and you have to monitor them, constantly supervise them, maybe even bug their property, just so you know where they are, where their kids are, what they're up to all the time. Because to be honest, they don't even know. And Jesus spoke of this. Forgive them, for they know not, because they don't know. Their brain, it's a hollow brain right now, remember? It's not just hollow, it's holographic as well. So there's this computer that's constantly pumping stuff into their brain. And people are fucking with people's lives right now, saying, do this, do that, drive your kid off the bridge and stupid things like that. So you really, really have to be careful, especially if you're co-parenting with one of them, or if you are in business together. Observe them all the time, cameras, monitor them. Now, granted, yes, you have to walk within peace and understand that the universe is working in your favor, but that you can't take any chances. And you guys have to be the sane minds of this planet right now, because a lot of people, and especially after this microchip thing is coming in, a nanochip, whatever, a lot of people will lose their minds. And you observe this very, very carefully. You are now dealing with literally a 1-year-old or 2-year-old juvenile consciousness that cannot make good and proper sound decisions. So remember what Jesus said? We have been given a sound mind. Yes, we have, but the artificials do not. So that's where we're at right now, unfortunately. Now, don't, as I always say, don't hate the player, hate the game, and understand that you can love somebody and forgive them, but at the same time keep an eye on them, because they ain't worth shit. So that's where we're at right now, unfortunately. Anyways, I love you. Stay in peace, and the power is with you. In Lakesh.